Next step is to create a DAO that will actually implement this. So what I'm going to do is show you what we have here in the lib folder. In the lib folder, I have these following models here. So there's one that's county aggregation, and it has certain fields. This has average salary, count, county, gender, is active, and total salary. So basically it has almost all these fields here. So the goal is to create that. And also here, there's also a iQuery that has the following methods: find all and find by. Okay, we're going to implement that. Okay, so I'm going to go here, back to, and I'll create a class here, new class. And call this driver county DAO. Let's click on public static main. And remember there's an interface called iQuery. So I'm going to tell it to go after iQuery. And that's going to take in a model of county aggregation. I'm going to say here DAO. Leave it like this for now. I'll tell it to import that. Import this also. And then I'm going to tell it to create a new class. I'm going to say here new county DAO. Now this doesn't exist yet, but what I can tell the interpreter to do is to do this. I can tell it to create the class, let's just say, I'm sorry, the IDE. Let's put in a DAO, stands for Data Access Object. Click on Finish and save it. So you notice how it knows how to build a class. I'm then going to tell it to build the methods that I need. I'm going to say source. I want it to override implemented method. And I'm going to tell it to go after the, let's do find all. No, I'll say, yeah, I'll do both. Let's save it there. Now the next step is I have the query that I'm looking for. The query that I'm looking for is this right here. So let's grab that. Let's put that here. In fact, I know this query is not going to change that much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say here private. And I might need it again in another method. Might. I don't know yet. SQL. And surrounded in quotes. And I don't think these carriage returns would be a problem, but you know what? I don't like them, so I just don't like seeing them. So just make sure when you're doing that, you have spaces in between them. So when you're writing the query doesn't make a mistake and thinks that the words are right on top of each other. So meaning that there should be a space here, a space here. Okay, and the semicolon is not needed inside also. Now what I'm going to do is from the driver count, this driver right here, this has 99% of the code that we need. I will copy most of it here. Okay, and instead of course using this SQL statement, I'm going to use the SQL statement from above. Let me double click here to get full screen mode. Save it. Give it a to-do list. And the next step now is to actually execute this new SQL. Now, this part's not going to be valid anymore. So let's get rid of that portion right here. And I'll make this private. That's fine. And I should just be able to run this. This won't do anything right now, but I should not get any errors because a SQL is a valid SQL statement. So let's go back to the driver here. And remember the method that we're implementing is find by map. I'll make this null for now, that it takes in nothing. And if I execute it, there should be no errors. So notice we got no errors. But just to prove a point to make sure there's no errors in here, what I'll do is I'll go to the SQL statement and I'll add something bad. I'm going to say here ABC. Save it. I'll run this again. And sorry, ran the wrong one. Run this one. And I got an error. Let's double click and just view the error. And it's telling me that I have this error near column A, B, A, C, which there's no such thing. So we know that this is working. Okay, so of course let's fix this and get rid of this portion right here.